All right, welcome back to GolfN Reacts. Jared, how's it going?
Good. How about you?
Good, pretty good. I saw you had an invitational this past weekend at the club.
I
It's always
did.
a fun time in club life. How'd it go?
Well. Yeah, no, it was extremely hot. It was highly competitive. We ended up winning our flight, getting into the horse race. Ended up getting third overall, and I guess one thing I'm pretty proud of, and that's we got boat raced in our first match. Like boat race, like we had to grind to get 3.5 points. And we started, I think we were down 4-1 maybe at the time. And if you guys don't understand the format there, you play a bunch of 9-hole matches. You got to win your group to get into the horse race, right? And in years past, it would have just been transfusion time, and just like, okay, well, we're out of it. Like you get smacked like that because the guys that beat us ended up beating everybody pretty well. And we ended up backdooring them on the last day and got them by half a point to win the group. So you're never out of it,
Nice.
Brandon. You're
Never
never
give
out of
up.
it.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
got I
that's
got my
right.
first one of these coming up in a few weeks. So,
Is it your first
but
one ever?
I've never played. Yeah, I've never
Oh
gotten
my God, it's so
into a
much
member
fun,
guest
dude.
before. I've had to decline a few invites in the past, and this is the first time I've cleared the calendar. So I'm
I
excited.
would here's the thing about this format. And this is my tip to all of you out there. If you ever play in a match play event, which I do all the time, we have individual match play, team match play, other team, other stuff like that at my club. You get to a point where you're up, or like you're up four with six to go. You kind of take your foot off the gas or something like that. The thing about this format is every single point matters for every single hole. So like you can get up like, okay, I'm up 6-1, and you like take your foot off the gas on the last two holes. Like, no, you need those points. Like, even though you already won the match, like it's gonna come down to winning your flight. And so it kind of feels shitty at the time when you're like, that 3-footer, I'm gonna need to see that. Like, you just want to start conceding things because every single point counts, and having holes, winning holes makes a huge difference because we won on half a point after 5 matches. So like it matters.
Wow. Okay, good to know.
Yeah.
Finish strong in all these events. Well, I
Yeah.
know that with the invitational going on, you probably didn't catch much golf on TV. Quite a
I didn't.
finish on the PGA Tour. We've kind of pulled up the really the last 18th, the 72nd hole of the event this weekend. Quite a finish. Let's go ahead and roll it.
Okay.
Mhm.
Keegan, my guy. I like Keegan.
Yeah, kind of a hometown guy with Connecticut Northeast. But here's Kip Henley first.
Henley. What a chip.
So you see what's going on here. You got Fleetwood's up by one, and he's tied with Bradley for second. What do you think happens?
Well, that's a hell of a chip in to give himself a chance. I guess, 3-man playoff would be pretty wild. That'd be cool. Um,
He called a penalty on himself too earlier in the week. That's the craziest
yeah.
part. So here's Fleetwood. He's been trying to win for a while now. Not
Oh, no. So all right. Giving someone a read like that is brutal. All right, I'm going to stop this right there because I had seen that. I hadn't seen the Henley chip in. I saw that not for the end of the result of the tournament, but I'm going to go back really quick. Can I do that easily? Do you know how you go back and all right, here, let me go right here. I'm going to show this to my son as he starts playing golf as to why you always check your line. Right there. That was going in. There, I have no doubt in my mind that was in the cup.
Oh, so you think it was the mark?
Oh, 100% it was. I'm going to slow it down. I think I can do that, right? Yeah, playback speed. This might be a little bit too slow, but stay with me. Jim Nance sounds ridiculous here. See that?
Yeah. It still felt like a weak putt, though. I don't know. I'm not convinced that was the do or die.
All right. Well, we'll get to see it on Keegan's putt then, won't we?
Yeah, I feel bad for the guy though. He's been looking to win for a while. Here's Keegan. This is for birdies. This is to win it. He stuffed it on the approach. Ryder Cup captain.
To be fair, he did start as slightly left of Fleetwood's line, but I think Tommy still goes in if it doesn't hit that mark. Like, I feel pretty strongly that bounce shifted the ball over because it didn't even hit the cup. Like, there's no way from 5 feet that ends up happening. But I mean, that's a hell of a turn of it. That's why you watch this stuff, right? Like, 1-shot lead coming in. It seems as though he hit a horrible approach shot. And then not only did he not lag it well, he put it right behind the guy that was behind him. Like, that was a disastrous situation. And here's what I'll say about that. I like Tommy Fleetwood a lot. I don't know how you could not like Tommy Fleetwood. Like, that's heartbreaking because I know he's never won. As much as, like, Keegan winning is cool and good for, like, USA and Ryder Cup, and I've seen those things, like, you know, is he going to be a playing captain? That's a fun conversation to have. Like, that sucks for Tommy. I mean, think about the conversation we had with Emmy a few weeks ago, right? Like, I think we would all say that, like, if you were comparing the careers of Emmy and Fleetwood, like, Fleetwood has been in the conversation, made a ton of more money, played in Ryder Cups, right? Like, and that's not to knock Emmy, but, like, Emmy's closed the deal on tournaments twice. And Fleetwood hasn't, even though, like, on paper, his resume is a better resume. I don't know. Is it better? How do you, maybe not better, but, like, higher, more money? He's made more money?
Yeah, I feel like he was more of a factor in some majors. And, you know, there was a couple years there where it just seemed like he didn't miss iron shots.
Yeah.
He was just like a killer in these alternate shot Ryder Cups. So
yeah,
I'm like I'm shocked to be reminded he hasn't won. I just assumed he has.
Honestly,
yeah,
same, and that's horrible. You know, I think that this is kind of one of those things where the prevent defense in football and playing as if you're in prevent in a golf tournament, neither of them are good ideas, right? Like, how in that situation, because, like, that last hole is not hard at the Travelers. It really isn't. Like, just anywhere on the surface versus having to putt from the fringe across the green, and, like, you're in a different situation. Like, I think you got to keep going for it.
Yeah, and neither putt really felt very, very strong either.
No,
you know, to miss short like that, and then to not even really hit it much, you know, too far past the hole.
Yeah.
Well, there's always the next tournament, you know. He'll just got to keep knocking on the door. Why don't we do a little housekeeping from the previous week at the U.S. Open? You may have seen some dinged up locker rooms.
I did see that.
Some lockers got some treatment at Oakmont. All kind of signs pointed to Wyndham Clark being the culprit. He apologized a couple months ago. You may remember he, like, threw a club and almost, like, took out a volunteer. He's back apologizing again. You want to listen to this apology and tell me what you think?
Yeah, I haven't actually. I knew he did that. I have not heard this. I'm anxious to see what he says here.
There were some posts and some photographs that came out of Oakmont that made it their way on through social media. Is there anything you'd like to comment on or make any statements on with regard to some of that stuff in the locker room?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I've had a lot of highs and lows in my career, especially this year, some lows. And, you know, I made a mistake that I deeply regret, and I'm very sorry for what happened. But I'd also like to move on, not only for myself, but for Oakmont, for the USGA, and kind of focus on the rest of this year and things that come up. I still want to try to make the Ryder Cup team. I'm on the outside looking in for the FedEx Cup, and
initial reaction started off well.
To move on and focus on those things.
Right? Like actions I deeply regret. I've had some highs and some lows. I've had some lows this year, and that's kind of a bad apology for me. I don't know if that really does it. Like, because I would like to see like a genuflect to how disrespectful that is, versus just being like, it's some highs and some lows and shit happens. I'll pay for it. Like, whatever. Let's all move on. Like, no, dude. Like, how old is that locker room? Isn't it like one of the oldest like clubs there is?
Yeah, they certainly don't look updated. Those lockers he took out, maybe he felt like they're due for a refresh, and that's why he did it. But yeah, it's an old club, traditional club.
So here's the thing about Wyndham. Like, here's my relationship as a fan of golf and like knowing Wyndham Clark. Didn't like him. Didn't really like who he was. Didn't really like how he played. When he won the major, I was like, ugh, this fucking guy. Like, I did not really like him. And then I saw the Netflix series where he kind of talked about what he was going through, and it made me like him a lot, okay? Like, it gave me a greater understanding for who he is and the fact that he was willing to do that, because in my opinion, that probably shed a light on a place that a lot of guys are unwilling to go to. And I think that that's a good thing, right? Like, you want to look, I struggle with this. I have this stuff. I'm obviously very talented, have some mental issues. And that to me was like, okay, I changed my view on you now. Like, you were willing to do that. That takes a lot of balls and respect on it. But this is a huge miss for me. And the miss is like owning that it's wrong and no one should be looking up to this and it's unacceptable and I need to find a way to redirect my anger and I'll work with my therapist on it, would have been the way that I would have expected this to go. Not, I'd like me and the PGA Tour and the USGA and Oakmont to all move on and look for the rest of the shit. Like, that's a cop out. That's a, that wasn't that big of a deal. Let's all just move on real quick. No, it is a bigger deal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like to see guys care, and so like you see a locker room get bashed up, and it's like, okay, these guys really do care. Obviously, my hope would be there's something going on behind the scenes with Oakmont that he's making it right, and maybe something gets out at some point where, the members of Oakmont feel like he's made it up to them somehow.
And like I feel like that is, and maybe that'll still come out, but yeah. That really annoys me because, like, for better for worse, and I get it, I didn't ask to go be a role model for kids. Well, you are one. I didn't ask to be a poster boy for mental health at the highest level of the game. Well, you kind of are now, okay? Like, I never really understood, though, and I've heard out, like, I don't like being a public figure. Okay, but you cash the checks, so buckle the fuck up. Like, I don't, you know what I mean? You did it, own it, and this seems like a half measure, and dude's obviously not in a great place. I hope that he gets to a better place, but that was shitty to me.
Yeah. There are opportunities to make it a PR spin, though. He could go, do a couple hours work at the club or something, or serve the guys hot dogs or in the cafeteria. There's ways out of it.
Yeah, like make a joke of it, like, hey guys, remember, leave it on the course, or like something like it would be maybe a funny way to turn it, but like, yeah, that lands pretty flat to me.
Let's show you one other little incident. I don't know if you saw this kind of inadvertent club throw from JT. Let's go ahead and roll this one. See you kind of fly off to the left there.
Yeah.
We're going to show you another angle. Real big miss left there.
Whoa.
Pretty close to that volunteer.
I mean, yeah, that could have been disastrous. That was crazy. Let's get it back in slow-mo. All right, here he is. Also, like, look at it. It's just such a clean spot at the top. Look at that. Real nice. You can't even say, like, it was I mean, look at that. It was an accident. Like, no, it wasn't. That was a bad shot and you being dramatic. Okay. And then, oh, shit. Look at that. Look at that. I mean, think about if that had done one more revolution, right? And like the head was there. Yeah, not great, not a good look. Look, I have no problem admitting, like, I'm a guy that sometimes, like, I will hit and just let my club fall out of my hands, being like, what are you doing? But it always falls right next to me, right? Like, I'm not a, like, tomahawk down like Rory was or whatever, like those things. But yeah, that's a bad look. And here's the thing, I really like Justin Thomas, even though he has his own, like, checkered past. Like, he gets a lot of passes for me for a lot of things.
He owns it, though.
That's a bad look. He does.
But he owns it. He's great at the kind of make good.
Yeah. So not to say that it didn't happen, but
yeah.
Yeah, like that. I'm glad that guy didn't get hit. That could have been disastrous because, like, I've seen people get hit in the face with clubs, like, accidentally. Like my dad actually had it. My dad, his entire life, had a scar in between his eyes that was diagonal. He was a kid. He was like 17 years old, and he was just like ramming balls into a field. Actually, the baseball field's behind his house. Where, funny note, Derek Jeter grew up playing in Kalamazoo, Michigan. That was my grandfather's land.
Mm-hmm.
And he would just go back there with his buddies, and they would just smash balls and shag them. And he was walking behind one of his buddies with an iron who was whipping the club back, and in his backswing, racked him in the face. He had a scar his whole life.
Yeah, many such cases happened on my golf team too. Just
really?
Guy took one in the jaw on a backswing. So yeah, it's no joke.
Yeah, it's no joke for sure.
Well, let's move on from the shenanigans of the Pro Tours.
Yeah.
Let's see what Rick Shields has going on here. He's wearing some kind of contraption on his head.
Rick Shields of Live Golf. All right, let's take a look.
Obviously got the line on my putter, or I can bring the goggles back down, and straight away I've got my line back right. So my line is straight down that red line. It literally tracked perfectly.
You know, I've heard about these. I've never seen one in use, like what the UI looks like. That's pretty cool to me. I kind of dig it. Like, I would like to try. You know what it is about these things? Like, people think, like, oh, people are going to cheat all the time. No, they're not. Look at that thing. He looks like a clown. Okay. But, like, I would never purchase one, but if I could rent one for like a day and just go, because I know what you have to do. You have to go out and you have to, like, kind of map the area first. So it has to, like, scan and record, then it gives you the line. So it takes time. But to, like, certain places at my club that I just can't sort out, I would love to go do that. To me, that's what, like, I bought a greens book a long time ago, and that's what I would do. Like, how would this work? Okay, that makes sense. And, like, still not 100% accurate. But, like, going to scan and look for a day, like, I'd pay a couple $100 to do that for one day.
Yeah, I can see PGA Tour players on their practice rounds. If there's a couple pin positions they don't understand.
Yeah, you still got to execute the putts. Like, in the moment, you don't get it. But, like, there are some things that absolutely vex you as a golfer. And I would love to have this. Like, I think it's cool. If, you know, you show me this in, like, the Meta glasses, dude, like, that'd be sweet.
That's huge. I'm already seeing golfers with Meta glasses now, and they're, like, recording shots and all that. So it's happening. I
saw it at the PGA show this year. There were some content creators walking around with just Ray-Bans, and they would just be like, Meta, start recording. Anyway, we're here at and he was, like, doing an interview. It was cool.
I guess the question is, you can tell when a guy's wearing something like that. If I'm wearing Meta glasses and I'm getting help and we're playing in a match, we're playing for $100 and I've got these glasses on and you don't even know that I'm seeing the line here.
Yeah, so that's fair. I will say this. I was chatting with this dude for, like, probably 5-8 minutes before I realized he had them on, but I'd never seen them in person before. Once you see them one time, they're impossible to miss. Like, there is literally, like, a circle on the side of the glasses, and it's very much a camera, like, aperture. So, like, once you see it once, so you'd be like, all right. But, like, great. If you're in a match and someone does that, I immediately call you on it, you lose, bro. Every hole you have those on, you just lost 6 straight holes.
Well, how do you tell? How can you tell?
Well, once you notice it.
Well, if I'm wearing Meta glasses, but I'm not using this app. How do you know that I'm using the app or not?
Don't wear it.
Okay, so just that's your match. Like, that's the red line. If you're wearing Meta
100%.
glasses, I'm not playing you for money.
100%. Now, here's the thing. When it's recording, you can see red too, like on the glasses. I think that's like a privacy thing. So, like, obviously the heads-up display or whatever, a little different. But,
got it.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Well, let me know if that starts surfacing at your club.
Yeah, I will. I will.
Let's go to golf course architecture school here.
Okay.
I know you're I guess I'm more of a junkie of this stuff than you are.
I'm a
but
novice. Yeah, I'm a novice.
You gotta see this hole. I had never seen this hole before. It's wild.
I like that. Getting 69 at Ramsey Golf and Country Club. All right. Very crypto title. Let's see.
Okay, let's play the
That's good
6th
stuff.
and 9th holes at Ramsey Golf and Country Club. These two holes share a fairway. That is correct, sir. That is a fence guarding the 9th green from Shanks off the 6th tee box. Now let's take an overhead look here. There it is, the shared 69th fairway, we'll call it, at Ramsey Golf and Country Club. Out of bounds and people's homes all down the right side. Train tracks all down the left, and yes, an NJ Transit train just rips back and forth all day. It's huge Royal Troon vibes. That's the 7th and 9th tee box. 7th and 8th holes are back there. You notice that water hazard. You flip it around,
Squeeze, huh?
and you play back down the 9th hole. There's the Royal Troon train. Amazing vibes. And these are people on the 9th hole right now, hitting directly at us. 9th green's behind us. That's the group up there. It's just kind of back and forth situation. You go, I go, like Night at the Roxbury. It's incredible stuff. You really have to see it to believe it. So those guys cleared out, and we got to hit into
Are you
the
intrigued? Like at this
6th green now.
do you want is this like a
Little
bucket
Trump.
list hole now?
No. I mean, I'm intrigued that they did this. I'm like, is this a good place?
No, I think it's just pretty
Okay.
average. Yeah.
All right. I was going to say, it'd be cooler to me if this was like, it's very prestigious and they share this hole. Like, that would be cooler. No, I'm not a fan. Quite frankly, like, if you've ever been hit with a golf ball before, which I have a couple of times at full speed, like, the novelty wears off real quick.
Yeah, this has got to be an insurance nightmare. I mean,
That's what I
who's
mean.
insuring this golf course?
As someone who used to work in commercial insurance, like, no carriers that with a brain is going to touch this, because like, why would you? Like, there's only so many liability waivers you can get people to sign. It's almost like you'd have to sign it before you even go out, and if you can't, you're trespassing. I mean, I'm like, no. Here's the signature from the day that this happened of you waiving your rights, and here's the hold harmless. Like,
Yeah,
sorry, sucks to suck.
you're really trusting the group on the 9 if you're on 6 or
Yeah,
you know,
I don't like that at all.
I don't. I will say that's the closest hole I've seen to like a St. Andrews type experience. You know how like St. Andrews, all the holes
Yeah.
play next to each other, and so when you
Yeah.
play that course, there's a lot of kind of just everyone's kind of doing the same thing. This is taking it to the extreme.
I
though.
mean, I have no problem with those because at least the intention is you're not supposed to be on the same hole as each other. It ends up happening, but you can do something about that. Like, I don't know. I feel like my eyes are garbage when I'm out there anyway. I have a hard enough time seeing my own ball, let alone tracking where the people are.
Well, this is on my bucket list now. I gotta see this place. So
All right,
it's
cool.
on.
Let me know. Let me know.
Let's wrap up. That's our last video there, but let's wrap up with a pick here. This is the hot new pro shop item. Jared, you buying this?
I love how it's got the wolf howling. Did you ever go down the rabbit hole of like 3 Wolf Moon Amazon reviews back in the day?
No.
Oh my God, this has to be that. If it isn't done yet, we should start it. There was like this literally, just Google it. It's probably on Reddit or something like that. 3 Wolf Moon shirt reviews on Amazon. There's literally like 800,000 reviews of this t-shirt of like a wolf, of 3 wolves and a moon in the background. And this people being like, I bought this shirt. I immediately got my first date ever. Like all of a sudden, all the ladies can't like, and it's just a bunch of like jokes. This reminds me of that, except for it's made by one of the prestigious golf like apparel companies in the world.
And the Broadmoor is a very fancy resort.
Yeah.
It's like a private club with a 5-star hotel on it.
That's crazy.
Good
That's
spot.
crazy.
All right,
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
you buying or not buying?
No, but like if we can find a way to find this online so we can go leave like hundreds of thousands of reviews, like I'll do 2 a day for the next year.
Nice,
Yeah, good stuff.
awesome, cool. Well, thanks for joining me. It's golf season for everybody, so get out and play.
Absolutely.
Let's use the app, post those shirts, those crazy holes all in the golf.
Yeah,
app.
the first person who is using the GolfN app and posts a picture of them wearing that shirt, I will do something special for you. So there's your bounty right now for someone to go make that happen.
Nice. So we got some people in Colorado, so be careful.
It's
what you wish
possible.
for.
It's possible. It's a good point. Good point.
All right. Well, thanks everyone, and we will talk to you next time.